My name's John Clyde. I've been with Keller Williams since 2011. Been a realtor for 23 years, and I'm here to speak about committing to self-mastery. When you think about self-mastery, it's one of those things that reminds me of watching basketball. And you see these professional players, and they shoot three-pointers like it's nothing, and you think, oh, that's easy. But when you figure out behind the scenes, they're practicing shooting thousands of shots every day, even on weekends. And then you start to figure if you do that every day, every month, every year, and you continue to do it, and you start saying, wow, why are they so good? Well, they're good because they practice and they continue to have habits around it, and they eventually master it. And I think about Steph Curry, that he's shot so many three-pointers that it would take someone almost 7 years to catch up to the amount of three-pointers he shot over his course of his career. So to me, that's really self-mastery. That brings me to my story. I was a New Jersey State Trooper for 17 years, a dual career realtor as well, and did both at the same time for a lot of years. And I always struggled hiring admins. And I was like, why am I continuing to struggle? And I would get a resume and look at it and say, I got a gut. I think they're going to be good. And over, I kept failing at hiring an admin. And when I came to Keller Williams, they had this process called, at the time was Recruit Select, which I never really got into that much. But then when career visioning came, I started to really kind of like get into it, teach it, understand it, and I was able to participate in the train-the-trainer for career visioning. So I was going to be one of the facilitators for career visioning. So it kind of forced me to kind of get into career visioning and to learn what it was about. And I really got attracted to the systematic approach to hiring because I never did it before. I was just hiring by resumes and gut. And as I started to teach it, I started to learn it more, and then I actually went and watched other people present it, and I was like, wow, if I really can nail this, I could probably really get good at making hires. And then if you listen to what Gary says, your first 5 hires, how important they are to the success of your organization. And then, who you get in business with matters. So if I can nail this, I really can have a big life. So I started to really study it, practice it, and from administrative hires to regional directors now that I've been hiring, I've been able to really, I would say, master it by continually practicing it, doing it by myself, doing it with friends, doing it with my wife. And eventually it got to the point where I didn't need to even look at the manual. I was just doing it from being able to, because I practiced it so much. So if you think about your career, what is it that you can do that actually allows you to be really good at what you do, whether it be lead gen or to be networking? What strengths help you and what weaknesses kind of hold you back from being really good at it? Because I know for me, my weaknesses was I thought I can just hire with my gut, and that really wasn't the case, right? I actually needed a systematic approach to actually make the hire. So being consistent and learning how to do career visioning for me really allowed me to be really successful in my business. So here's what I would suggest for you, my recommendation if you want to really get good at self-mastery, right? Think about your strengths, think about your weaknesses. What is it that you do really well? Where is it that you maybe fall a little short? And maybe just start to really practice it, have accountability around it. You're already taking the first step. Congratulations. I look forward to seeing you on your path to self-mastery.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Dupree, and I've been with Keller Williams since 2019, and I've been in the real estate industry my entire life, and I am so excited that you're here today to learn about one of my favorite perspectives, the 80-20 rule. This is one of my favorite perspectives out of the 6 perspectives because it basically helps you as an agent, as a leader, move from where you are to where you want to be faster, to collapse those time frames down. What it basically says is that 20% of your activities are going to generate 80% of your results. I've lived by this perspective since I was a kid. I grew up playing basketball. In fact, I was horrible at basketball 6th and 7th grade. I made a decision I wanted to be good, and I got the Pete Maravich Pistol Pete basketball tapes. And every morning I would do my dribbling drills, I would do my passing drills, defense drills, the skills to help me become a better player. I'd shoot 1,000 shots every single day, 500 free throws every single day, And then from my 7th grade to my 8th grade year, I became a much better player. My 8th grade year to my freshman year, I became a starter on the varsity team. Then I started thinking about playing at the collegiate level. And I knew that I wasn't the most talented player, but if I wanted to have the opportunity to play at the collegiate level, I had to really hone in on what were the things that mattered most to helping me become a better player. And it was mastering the fundamentals, doing the drills over and over and over and over again until I mastered them. Then I got into the real estate business. My mother's been an agent for 52 years, and she taught me, Jonathan, if you focus on listings, you will make more money than other agents who focus solely on buyers. So I made the bulk of my activity to generate leads to get listings. And as a result, I was able to build a successful real estate career. You know, I remember as a new team leader walking through our market center, and I saw one of our agents who was newer, and they were working so hard at creating all these forms. And I stopped and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm making all these forms so that it'll help me with my clients." I told him those forms already existed, and he was wasting his time on the 80% activities that generated 20% of his results. I'll never forget when he finally realized he needed to spend his time devoted to lead generating, to get listings, to write contracts, to close deals so that he could make money. He finally understood about prioritizing his business and focusing on what matters most so that he could end up building the life that he desired and that he deserved. And he still brings that conversation up. That was a shift for him when he realized he was avoiding doing what he knew he should do most to grow his business, so that he still though felt productive by creating those forms. See, as an agent, or you look at as a leader, anywhere in your life, you have to determine what are the levers that I can pull that will help me collapse the time frames and get the results that I desire. Those 20% activities, gaining clarity to what matters most for you in your business. And in real estate, we know it's lead generate, to get appointments, to get listings, to have write contracts, to have closings, to make money. I'm so excited that you're about to learn about this perspective. I can't wait till you implement it. And one thing I want to leave you with is the speed of growth in your business will always be determined by the speed of implementation. How quickly you take these perspectives that you're learning about today and apply them to your personal life and to your business. I can't wait to see how far you go and how much you grow by implementing these perspectives and strategies into your business and your personal life. So let's get ready to learn.
Hi, I'm Wendy Harrelson. I've been with Keller Williams since 1991. Today I'm here to talk to you about one of the 6 personal perspectives, entrepreneurial to purposeful, E to P. So entrepreneurial to purposeful is a way to describe it. Also easy to painful. Sometimes that may make a little bit more sense in our business, right? So what I'm going to talk to you today is about one personal experience about being E to P, going from E to P. When I was an agent, a very young agent, on a very slim budget, I had to figure out a way to do marketing. How could I get my name out there? So I decided that I was going to hand out cookie cutters on different holidays with a cookie recipe. Made them myself, hand tied them, and I walked a neighborhood and I handed out 100 every single month on a different street. People they would ask for more. They would send me a text and say, "Hey, I would love to see more of these." Some people would say, "Why didn't I get these shamrock in March?" And I would have to say, "You're gonna get something next month." So anyway, it was fun, it was great, it was exciting. But after time, I did it for about a year, I became a little bit bored. It wasn't exciting anymore, I wasn't really challenged, and I started to feel myself getting a little bit burned out. One day my phone rang, and it was one of these people that I had sent a cookie cutter to, and they said, "I would like to use you as my agent, and I'm going to buy a house in this particular neighborhood." This particular neighborhood was at least 3 to 4 times the price that I was marketing, and I was a little bit scared. It put me out of my comfort zone a little bit. I decided, well, become very purposeful and go represent these people in this higher price neighborhood. After I sold the house, I realized that I can do this. So I had to change my whole entire mindset and become more purposeful in my business, not just entrepreneurial, doing what's easy, what's exciting. So I started marketing other neighborhoods. Over time, ran a very successful business. It was very successful as far as more deals, not so much marketing anymore. So I felt a little bit burned out. I realized again, I've got to become more purposeful. I was getting very comfortable. So a team leader opportunity was presented to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, team leader. What a scary experience. Then it's not just about me, it's about everybody else in the market center, creating opportunities, teaching models and systems to these people. So when you become from entrepreneurial to purposeful, you have to implement models, systems, accountability. I really had to think about this decision. Well, I did decide on taking the opportunity. Became a very successful team leader, created a lot of opportunities for other people. And I realized that, again, you can become entrepreneurial in your own current position, and you have to become purposeful. You have to wake up every single day and decide, I'm going to be entrepreneurial, purposeful. There's nothing wrong with either one of them. It's just that when you decide to become purposeful, you probably will create more opportunities, not only for yourself, but for others. Okay, so in a brief summary, entrepreneurial to purposeful, E to P. Remember, E is easy, fun, exciting, not so many models and systems. You can actually hit ceilings of achievement. So become purposeful. It might be a little uncomfortable. Might be a little bit painful. You may have to put a little accountability in there, but also the models and systems that we have in this company will get you through that ceiling of achievement, will allow you to move on to the next level. Because at every position that you'll ever be in, pretty much every position you're probably in your life, there's always a way to go a little bit farther. And so it has to go back to models and systems, purposeful, pain sometimes, a little bit of pain, a little bit of uncomfortableness. But you know what? When you focus on that, become focused on being purposeful, you do other things for other people, creates a better life for yourself, your family, everyone around you. So here's my message. Let's go be purposeful.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Brennan and I'm super excited to be with you today to talk about one of the 6 personal perspectives. That perspective make being learning-based the foundation to your action plan. See, for some of us, we go and we learn for learning's sake, or you can choose to learn for doing sake. My journey started back in April of 2003, and 3 days into my time with KW, I ventured to Detroit, Michigan to hear Dave Jenks do a presentation on the newly issued book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Dave that day did this little jingle, and I've never forgotten it, and it really became foundational and began to catapult me on my path with this company. And that was, my success in real estate is in direct proportion to the number of people that when they think of real estate, they think of me. For the first 20 years of my professional career, I have to tell you, I can't say I was really learning based. On that day really put me on the path to change the trajectory of my career. From there, I went on to be a team leader and operating principal, and then later on, a little bit backwards, became a mega agent in our company. And throughout my journey, I plugged into each and every educational opportunity I could find. It was family reunion, it was mega camp, it was quantum leap. I can remember getting it from Gary, that talk from Gary that very first time, and how impactful that had been. So much so that I decided I wanted to be on the path to become an instructor, and later on in my time with the company, become a master faculty member. And what I find is being a teacher, and each and every time I have the opportunity to be in front of people, I myself, I think, am learning more from them than maybe they're even learning from me. So that day back in 2003 put me on a journey to become very learning based, and I've continued that for these past 18 years. My hope for each and every one of you is that you find your passion, you find that moment that puts you on the same path. See, we're a company of unlimited opportunities, and those unlimited opportunities come from people that take those 6 perspectives and make learning-based one of them, and let that be the foundation to your pathway.
Hi, I'm Kimber Minkiti, and I've been with Keller Williams since 2007. And I'm excited to talk to you guys today about our 6 personal perspectives, specifically removing your limiting beliefs. Now, what are limiting beliefs? These are our thoughts that can often hold us back from being able to achieve unlimited success. So what we want to talk about is how you can remove your limiting beliefs and unlock unlimited potential. When I first started in the business, I just finished my first year in real estate, and we set a wild goal to close 100 transactions. Nobody in our local market in DC was closing 100 transactions at the time. And so immediately after we set it, I felt sick. I was like, there's no way we're gonna actually be able to achieve this goal. And I realized I needed to look outside of my local market to find others that had already achieved 100 plus transactions. And in our Keller Williams family, I was able to identify several top agents from around the country who were very willing to talk to me about what they had done to achieve success in their real estate business, especially so early on in the start of their careers. We went on to really focus on what the activities were that were going to help us reach the goal. This was a humongous shift in our thinking. And so ultimately, we went small to go big. We really said, what are the key contacts, conversations that we need to have as a team on a regular basis to achieve that goal? And when we looked up, by October of that year, we had exceeded our goal by being able to have focused folks around us that helped hold us accountable and who were able to really get focused on those key numbers, which were not the lagging indicators, but our leading indicators. Now, the reality of limiting beliefs is it's not just a one-time thing. So if you fast forward a few years, when I stepped into the regional director role for the Maryland, DC region, I saw those limiting beliefs creep right back up. I had taken a very untraditional path as being a mega agent into regional and then national leadership. And so there were lots of limiting beliefs that I didn't have enough of the experience coming in, that I hadn't followed that traditional path into leadership in our organization. And so I did the exact same thing. I went and started to talk to different people that had held the role, had been in the role, had succeeded in the role, and really looked to understand what they had done to really allow that success to take place. And that piece of being able to identify someone that could walk you through and really transform the idea that this limiting belief was actually something that was inside of me, that was holding me back from being able to recognize and realize my full potential. So I'm going to encourage you today to first to identify a moment when you realize that it might be a belief that you have, that may be one that you've had your whole life, that's holding you back from doing the production that you want to do, from stepping into the leadership role that you want to do. And the second thing I'm going to encourage you to do is look for someone in your world, and maybe not in your world today, that has actually achieved that they've done this thing, they've been in the role, they've closed the units that you're interested in doing. And pick up the phone and have a conversation. Get on a plane, meet them, have a conversation. And then look not just about what they did, but really understanding a couple of really specific steps that they took to achieve that goal that you could implement back into your practice. Because we know when you unlimit your beliefs, you unlimit your potential.
Hi, my name is Mark Weiss, and I've been with KW since 2007. The last personal perspective is be accountable. Why is it so important to be accountable? Well, if your life is a journey, you get to choose whether you're going to be a passenger or the driver. You can choose to plan and work towards specific goals in different areas of your life, such as fitness or business. To me, accountability is accepting that my success, my life, and eventually my legacy will be defined by my choices and actions. Even though I was disciplined as a lifelong athlete before joining KW, I didn't have a system of accountability for business. In fact, when I joined KW, I was going to be an investor in a market center. And the OP brought 75 agents. He was the largest independent broker in town. My wife and I, we brought 14 agents. And we rented an 8,000 square foot office. And as the weeks went on and we were waiting for New York to allow us to open, he came in one day and said, "I've got cold feet." And he took his agents back to his brokerage. Well, we needed 40 agents to be approved for the franchise. My wife and I made the decision to mortgage our house and buy him out. And as I'd committed to becoming the OP, I got on a plane or in a car every 30 days to get to training, the training that I would need to become successful. And I hired a MAPS coach. And my coach kept me laser focused on doing what I needed to do to grow the business. I learned how to build a GPS, how to create priorities and strategies that would lead to my goals, how to work with a 411 to focus my weekly activities on monthly milestones on the way to my annual goal. And as I was benchmarking against the top market centers, I learned that all the highest achievers made time to go to class consistently. They all used systems and models in their businesses, and they all had coaches, agents, and leaders. Being accountable to my business goals was one of the best things I've ever done. By the end of the year, we were one of the top launching market centers. Now, when setting goals, my team always uses a GPS. Everyone has a MAPS coach, and everyone uses a 411 to align their weekly activities with our annual goals. This system of accountability keeps us on the path to our goals so that we succeed together. Through this experience and many more through the years, I've learned that if it's to be, it's up to me. Being accountable is a choice. Some people choose to not be accountable because they're afraid of success. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of feeling uncomfortable, or they fear failure. Failure is essential to success. Accountability narrows our path so that we fail our way to success more quickly. Think of a goal that's really important to you, one that would change your life. What is one thing that you could do to increase your accountability to achieve that goal? Work with a 411. Talk to your team leader about your business goals. Hire a MAPS coach. Being accountable to my goals has absolutely changed my life, and I know it can change yours too. Commit to being accountable.